Hello everyone and welcome back to Freedom Through Confidence. My name is Ben and in this video today I'm going to share with you how to trust someone for the first time. Now, if you're anything like me on your journey of self-confidence, then you may very well be finding it hard to trust people. I spent most of my life not trusting people due to various things that myself and my family went through when I was very young. I found it very hard to trust people, and it took me a long time to figure out exactly how to build up relationships to a point where I actually trusted people enough to share who I was and to share my thoughts and desires and my past and my goals for the future and how I am right now and what I'm doing and all the stuff that makes me me. And if you're watching this video, then you might find yourself very much in the same kind of place. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down how to trust someone new for the first time. Now, no one has explained this concept better to me than Brené Brown has done in her book, which I've completely forgotten the name of. If I remember the name of the book, I'll leave it in the description down below, or I will put like a little box up here with the name of the book. It might be The Power of Vulnerability. I think it is. But she explains the concept of building trust very well in a story that she tells about her daughter who had been betrayed by one of her friends at a very young age. And Brené Brown didn't really know how to approach this topic with someone so young. So her daughter was, I think, maybe like 9 or 10 years old in the story. I'm a little bit fuzzy with the detail because it was a very long time ago that I read this book, but the analogy really stuck with me. So in this little girl's school, what they had was a marble jar up on the wall, and every single time somebody did a good action or did something positive, then the teacher would put a marble into that jar. And whenever somebody did something bad, a marble would come out of the jar. And once the jar was full, then the teacher would throw the kids a pizza party. And so Brené thought about that and kind of changed that into the analogy for learning how to trust people. So she tells her daughter that trust is very much like that same marble jar. And when you meet someone and you start to learn more about them and they start to learn about you, over time you can start to trust them with small things. You start with the very smallest things, and if they show that they can be trusted with those very small inconsequential things, that is a marble that you put in that jar. And over time you build up that level of vulnerability, so you start to trust them with bigger and bigger things, and you put more and more marbles into that jar. And if that person breaks that trust, then marbles come out, and that process keeps going and going and going until that jar is full. And once that jar is full, then you know that that person is trustworthy. Now, of course, I'm talking about a metaphorical jar. You don't have to fill up your shelf at home with Kilner jars full of marbles. That would be a little bit psychopathic, I suppose, a little bit weird. But what I'm talking about is the act of building trust. Now, you don't go into a new friendship or a new relationship and just throw everything on that person all at once. That's a term that is also shared in that same book by Brené Brown. She calls that floodlighting, just throwing everything on that person all at once and basically saying, well, you know, deal with that. That is not the way to build trust. That is like a Hail Mary play. That is a 1 in a billion chance of working, because most people don't want to handle all of your stuff all at once, especially in a new friendship or a new relationship. Instead, you start with small things. You start with things that if the trust is broken, it won't matter too much to you. And if they show themselves to be trustworthy with those things, then you can trust them with slightly bigger things. And over time, you can keep building up that level of trust higher and higher and higher. Of course, when somebody breaks your trust, you remove some of that trust, but you don't take all of it away, because there's always a chance for that person to improve. You can always give a second chance or a third chance, but don't give too many chances. And how many chances is too many? That's a question you'll have to answer for yourself. I don't have the answer to that because every single person is going to be different. Some people like to give second chances, some people like to give 5th or 10th chances. I usually stick around 3. I'm very much a 3 strikes and you're out kind of guy, but everyone is different. But just don't give too many chances to the point where somebody can take advantage of you. I suppose that would be the general rule of thumb, even though that's also incredibly vague and probably super frustrating. I never really thought much about this concept until I read it, and I realized that this was exactly what I did to build trust in my friends. I met a lot of my closest friends at university, and at first, because I did have massive trust issues, I just didn't trust them with anything. But at a certain point I realized that I needed to deepen my relationships with them if I wanted them to be a lasting friendship. So I started sharing little bits of myself, stuff that, you know, wouldn't really bother me too much if somebody did breach my trust with it. And over time I built up that trust in them to the point where I feel that I can tell my friends almost anything about myself, and I know that they won't judge me, and I know that they will come back to me with a sense of love and compassion. And that is what you get when you start working on building trust with other people, when you start working on filling up that marble jar. It is an incredibly rewarding way to create powerful, lasting friendships and relationships in your life. So I highly recommend that you start doing that with the people in your life. So if you have found this video useful today, and I hope you have, then I hope that you will leave a like on the video. I hope you're going to leave some comments as well, let me know what you think, what your questions are, and of course make sure that you are subscribed to the channel as well for more videos like this on a regular basis. Go out there and start to build trust with people, because the reward for doing that is going to be massive. And I hope to hear about your successes with building trust with the people in your life very soon. So once again, thank you very much for making it all the way to the end of this video, and I'll see you soon.